Wow. I'm back there. I almost missed it because I'm sitting there watching Aoife, and I'm just amazed. I'm like, we can do that? That was cool.
And I think we've spoke a lot here about building relationships and building teams and how important that it is. And like everything that I do and every idea that I have, we bounce that idea off each other.
So the one thing you probably don't know about me is I'm like you. I'm a business owner. Before I joined this dog and pony show, I had my own business for 20 years. I did sales, I did operations, I did marketing. Probably like a lot of you guys, you pretty much have to learn to do everything. I've been a technologist for 30 years in disruptive technologies, but I've never wanted to build technology for technology's sake. So one of the things that Todd and I had to agree on at the start of this is if we're going to do an AI product, it couldn't be an AI product. It's got to be that AI is a bullet point in a tech stack in a product. So if it makes sense to use the AI, we'll use the AI. So one of the other things I brought to the culture was this idea that the marketers and the sales team, they're really at the spearhead or the point of development. So when we say, what are the features going to look like? You guys have come here probably to network, to talk to people, to get ideas for your own business. We're here harvesting ideas. I mean, I'm meeting with people I met, I was going to call it Uncle Dan there with the R&D tax credit. I got ideas already of how we can integrate that into the system that we're doing. My watch was lighting up when Aoife was doing her speech, so I think some of you guys scanned the QR code. I guarantee you we're going to have a huddle afterwards, and then we're going to figure out, synergistically what we can do for each other and how we can integrate those solutions in the platform. I just want you to understand our thesis in going into this. We looked at this and we said, okay, do we want to be a competitor of ChatGPT? We're fans of ChatGPT. We're fans of Claude. We're fans of all of these, to be honest. That's why we use those large language models in our platform. But our thesis was we have 333 million registered companies in the world. Our thesis is that most, if not all, will either be using AI or be impacted by AI. So we don't really see it as a competition right now. I think our angle or our take on it is really we want to be that service level, so we built the platform to go after specific use cases. Our next feature set will be whatever you tell us you need, because that's where we're going. That's the direction we're going to head with it. So it's going to be tackling real-world problems. Otherwise, I don't really have an interest in doing this, again, just for technology's sake.
Yeah, and I think that's what's really, really important. If you were to try to get in contact with anyone in ChatGPT right now and tell them that you have a problem or you have something that needs to be solved, it's just not going to happen, guys, right? They're too big, right? These companies are too big. What we are really looking at, and to Douglas's point, we want to know what you want. We want to know what you need. And as we learn what you want and need, then we go about building, and we may build custom solutions, we may build solutions that we build, and then we say, actually, can we do some sort of partnership to put this back into the platform and make it available to other users? But to Douglas's point, and we're so much aligned on this, we're not here just to talk about and build technology for AI's sake. We want to solve real business problems. So Douglas, talk about where you see the market for AI going over the next, I can't even say 24 months, right? Because I can barely say yesterday and it's changing.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, if you believe the hype, you're looking at things like customer service and human interaction. Probably about 75% of that's going to be automated.
Yeah.
That's just the fact. You see the tools already for the bid writing, the contract sales, I think the same thing. One of the things, I guess if there's any indicator of where things are headed right now, the people that are talking to us, I know there's people here because I've talked to them that are consultants, and they're starting to camp out now in AI and becoming AI consultants. And that's one of the things that we're starting to build for too, because we have agencies, we have marketing agencies that are coming to us, and we can be responsive because, again, we're looking for the next feature sets. One of the next things we're doing is some of the agencies said, well, look, we want to build out for our clients. I mean, that's why we created the workspaces. And we want to create these custom assistants, and then with the knowledge bases and all the features that Aoife diagrammed for you. But we have IP tied up in that because we don't want to put our clients on the platform and then just have them take the assistants and then leave and create their own accounts and bring in their own clients. So one of the things we're going to do, I could tell you right now in the next week or two, is we're going to put locks on those assistants. So when you are a creator and you're creating these custom assistants and you're creating those instructions and you want to protect that for your own business, we're going to give you those tools. So I would highly encourage you to keep talking to us. Fill out the forms, write to us. You can write to us at enterprise@askROI.com if you have things that you specifically want us to add to the product. And I'm sure next year when we come back, it's going to look very different. It's going to look like whatever you guys are envisioning it looking like.
So tell me, last question, tell me what it's like to be the CEO of an emerging tech company.
You know, this sort of bookends my career because I started out, again, in more of the marketing, the sales, the advertising side. And the internet, when it took off, I got sucked along with it, and I became a technologist and became a programmer because everyone stole all of our programmers. I didn't have a choice. So this is sort of bookending the other side of that career. So when they asked me to do this, I saw this as being very similar to what I've been through before. What I've been through at that time is I watched that transition, and people at first going, I don't get it, I don't see how it's going to apply, I'm just going to wait. And what I watched happen was I suddenly springboarded my career forward, and from that time on, I've been 100% employed. I've never been lacking clients, or I've never been without a job because of it. And I've seen the people that waited get left behind, and they're usually about a 5-year gap of trying to catch up because they're lacking the context, they're lacking the connection, they don't understand how it got here, and it seems like magic. And I think if I were recommending to you guys, and I think I said this at AI panel, is I would focus on building that AI literate workforce and dispelling that sense of magic. It shouldn't feel like magic, it should feel like a tool. And again, if it's not solving a problem, then it's not really for you.
Yeah, and I think that is very important with our core values. Like, we want to hear what you want to say, right? We are very open and receptive. And Douglas is the CEO. We literally spend how much time on the phone? We were brainstorming these ideas.
It's fun. It's fun. She goes out on these calls like the bid writing one, and I'm telling you, that's the best part of my day. So.
Yeah, he's walking in the morning and he has me on blast on the phone. What about this and what about this?
Yeah.
So we really wanna hear your ideas, and I feel super blessed and grateful to be part of such an extraordinary team, and to have Todd's backing and Joe and the support of the whole team. So can we actually, because I just want to put a hand together, guys. Hasn't this been a great event so far?
Yeah.
There's so much work that goes in behind the scenes by every team member, from the setup to the audio to the visual to the reception, and all of the team have really, really put in every effort, and everyone on the team on askROI to make this happen. So I really just do want to acknowledge them. We're going to open the floor up to some questions. Any questions that you want to ask?
Thank you again for that awesome presentation. Quick question, you guys don't have an app yet, so I feel like it's a big disadvantage. And I'll just give a quick example. So right now I needed to post my social media posts because everyone's saying you got to post 4 times a day. And I'm sitting here, I need to create a caption, and I could have opened a browser, typed in askROI, signed in, and then prompted it to give me a caption. But the easier thing was to go to ChatGPT app, open it, and type in that prompt really quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, and listen, I agree with that, and it's definitely on our roadmap. I think you'll see that shortly. Where we started with this thing, and we mentioned before being fans of ChatGPT, is we started trying to use ChatGPT like you're using it, and we started asking the questions, well, how do I save these and organize these? How do I collaborate with other people? How do I go beyond the large language model? The problem with the large language models are they often cut off at 2021. And then now you have to rely on what it can scrape off of the web, which is not always the most efficient and effective way. So then we added knowledge bases to that, and then we added the professional prompts because we realized not everyone's going to become a prompt master. So what we did in a very short time, and everyone else had about a year, maybe a little over a year head start, is we built out those features as a demonstration for what we can do. We mentioned before, again, to give a little hint of where we're going with this, is we're not going to be in a features race with ChatGPT. When you join this platform, you can expect that there's going to be a lot of functionality and a lot of other applications well beyond just a chat app. So there's a trade-off, right? But to do the mobile app, it's just a matter of identifying which features and how we're going to serve those features. We're very close. So I think I wouldn't make that be a deciding factor right now. I would get to know the platform, understand how it works, and see how you can work it into your workflow.
Okay, and just one more. Right now, I feel like LLMs are MS-DOS to what Windows was. So I feel like it could be much more accessible and easy to use if it was much more visual. Is there any plans to go in that direction? Because right now, everything is prompting and typing and stuff, whereas when you go into like a more visual interface, there's a lot more clicking and opening apps.
Yes, so you are the exact person I want to talk to, because what you said right now is what I say. The chat interface, if you haven't noticed, and this is true for ChatGPT and all of them, it's really a rudimentary product, right? It doesn't feel complete. Yeah. And that's one of the issues we had. It's really for power users that understand how to communicate with the large language models.
And that's how MS-DOS was.
That's right.
Yeah.
So being the visual guy I am, and being the person that doesn't want to have to figure out how to click on the 5 assistants or 6 assistants or whatever it is you're doing, that's exactly where we're headed. So without giving away too much, I can guarantee you when we tackle use cases, you're going to see them tackled in a way that really holds the user's hands through the process, and it really is informative and tells a story on the interface. So what you're seeing right now is sort of the power user interface. You can do all those same things. What you can expect to see is something very different, very similar to probably what you're thinking.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any questions, please feel free to approach us. We'd love to hear more about the use cases that you want on the platform. Thank you, everyone.